Hello, I welcome you once again to our SHS 3 Core Mathematics lesson, brought to you by the Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling. My name is Lucia Sari Nelson. Today we are going to start with a discussion on a new topic called logical reasoning. In our previous lesson, we discussed distances of arcs of spheres. Today, we want to look at a subtopic under logical reasoning, referred to as statements. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to form and identify true or false statements. Now, let us ask ourselves, what is logical reasoning? Logical reasoning makes use of mathematics to develop proper procedures that connect simple statements in order to make valid deductions and hence draw conclusions. To work with logical reasoning, the word premise will be very important to you. A premise is a proposition which supports or helps to support a conclusion. The plural of premise is premises. Let us look at some examples of premises. 1. All boys in Form 3 wear white shirts. Here is another one. My brother has returned from school. Some types of logical reasoning include deductive reasoning, inductive reasoning, and abductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning tries to find out whether the truth of a conclusion can be determined for a rule based solely on the truth of the premise. For instance, when it rains, things outside get wet. The trees are outside. Therefore, when it rains, the trees get wet. Mathematical logic is commonly associated with this type of reasoning. And so this is the type of reasoning we are going to be using in our logical reasoning concepts. Now let us look at what a statement is. A statement is a sentence that is either true or false, but not both. A statement can be in a written form or verbal form. Remember, a statement cannot be both true and false at the same time. In logical reasoning, we can put statements in two main categories. That is, simple statements and compound statements. Let us take some examples of simple statements. Remember, with statements, we always have to use a letter to represent the statement. So some examples of simple statements are statement P, Kwame is sick. Statement Q, Kwame has gone to the hospital. We can also have statement A, we shall not go to school today. Statement B, students wear uniform. All the examples I have given you are called simple statements. A statement that is especially important to us might be called a proposition, an assertion, judgment, hypothesis, principle, thesis, or some situations we may call it a law. So you realize that in our logical reasoning work, all the formulas we have been using in mathematics came from some logical reasoning. If we say it is midnight, we have not made a statement. So proposals, commands, and suggestions are not statements. Now let's look at some examples of non-statements. A. I suggest we get a new set of furniture. This is a suggestion, isn't it? B. Stay away. This is a command. C. Let's quit studying. This is a proposal. We can, however, modify these sentences to form statements out of them. So we may say statement P. I suggest we should get a new set of furniture. Remember we said a statement may be true or false, but not both. So given statement P, I suggest we should get a new set of furniture. We can tell whether the statement is true or false. Statement Q. He commanded us to stay away. Another example is statement R. She proposed that we quit studying. These statements I have discussed with you are called simple statements. Now let us look at what a compound statement is. A combination of two or more simple statements is referred to as a compound statement. So two or more simple statements can come together or can be combined using the connectives AND. And the symbol for the connective AND is the V-like symbol that is turned upside down. We can also use the connective OR, and that symbol is a V. Another connective we can use is if so and so happens, then so and so will happen. If then statement. And that is represented by the implication sign. Let us take a third example. Combine these two simple statements to form a single statement. So we have two simple statements. We want to combine them. The outcome will also be a statement, and it will be called a compound statement. Statement Q. Kwame is sick. Statement P. Kwame has gone to the hospital. We are to combine the two statements to form a compound statement. So here is the solution. These two statements could be combined to form a compound statement. If Kwame is sick, then Kwame has gone to the hospital. Remember, I talked about some 3 connectives. So this is just one of the connectives I have used. That is, if so and so, then so and so. I hope you understand. Good. Let's take example 4. Combine these two simple statements to form a single statement. Statement P. Linda is a prefect. Statement Q. Linda is in the headmistress's office. Now let us combine them. The solution. These two sentences could be combined to form a compound statement. And the statement is, If Linda is a prefect, then Linda is in the headmistress's office. Let's look at another example. Identify which of the following sentences can be considered as statements. I believe you remember what a statement is. A statement must either be true or false. It cannot be both true and false. And that's command, proposal, questions are not statements. A. 12 is a multiple of 4. B. Who took my pencil from my bag? C. 11 is greater than 10. D. I have only one friend in this school. E. I will give you money too. F. Amina came first in the mathematics competition. G. Nobody shall visit there. And H. A square has 4 equal sides. Let's take the solution. Remember what the question said. We were to identify which of the sentences I have given you that are statements. So the first one, A, 12 is a multiple of 4. In this sentence, we can determine whether the sentence is true or false, so it is a statement. B, who took my pencil from my bag? This is not a statement. Remember, questions are not statements. C, 11 is greater than 10. This is a statement. We can tell whether 11 is greater than 10 or not. D, I have only one friend in this school. This is a statement. E, I will give you money too. This is not a statement. F, Amina came first in the mathematics competition. This is a statement. And then G, nobody shall visit there. Nobody shall visit there. This is not a statement. Let's look at the final one. A square has 4 equal sides. A square has 4 equal sides. It may be true, it may be false. This is a statement. In fact, a square has 4 equal sides. Now, I want us to take another example. Identify which of the following statements are true or false. A, the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 360 degrees. B, an isosceles triangle has all its angles being equal. C, 19 is a prime number. D, 23 is an even number. E, a quadrilateral is a 4-sided figure. F, 100 divided by 2 is equal to 50. G, Ghana is divided into 18 regions. And then H, 1502 is a whole number. Let's look at the solution. We are to identify whether the statements are true or false. The first one, A. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 360 degrees. This is false. You know the sum of the interior angles of any triangle is 180 degrees. B. An isosceles triangle has all its angles being equal. This is false. You know that an isosceles triangle has two of its adjacent angles equal, not all the three. If all the three are equal, then we have an equilateral triangle. C. 19 is a prime number. This is true. You know your prime numbers. A prime number has only two factors, 1 and itself, and 19 is one of them. 23 is an even number. This statement is false. E. A quadrilateral is a four-sided figure. This statement is true. All quadrilaterals have four sides. For example, the square, the rectangle, the parallelogram, and so on. They all have four sides. F. 100 divided by 2 is equal to 50. This is true. G. Ghana is divided into 18 regions. This is false. H. 1502 is a whole number. This is true. Good. In this lesson, we have learned that logical reasoning is the process of using a rational and systematic series of steps based on sound mathematical procedures and giving statements to arrive at a conclusion. We have also learned that statements are verbal or written proclamations that could be true or false, and that a combination of two or more simple statements is referred to as a compound statement. Well, this brings us to the end of this lesson. In our next lesson, we would continue with logical reasoning, where we look at negation of statements. I hope you'll join us again. Keep practicing until we meet again. Until then, goodbye.